We are here this Monday morning with our Cowboys insider Ed Werder, and a final score 41-7. Ed, even Brad Sham, you heard him there. Sounds like he was just kind of resigned.
Lost his enthusiasm.
I know, right? He's usually just really on it, but this is a team that was kind of on a late season roll, turning some heads, showing, hey, you know what? There's some resiliency in what has pretty much been a lost season, making the case for maybe keeping Coach Mike McCarthy around. The wheels, though, falling off 41-7. I mean, it seemed like everything that could go wrong did.
Well, it was so reminiscent of the blowouts they endured earlier in the season that maybe we thought were behind them. You know, Mike McCarthy has now suffered 2 of the 3 worst losses of his 18-year head coaching career in the NFL this season, while operating under a contract that expires a week from today.
He needed this win.
He needed his team to at least play better than that. Now, they've lost by 34 to the Eagles, by 38 to the Lions. Sources involved in the conversations between McCarthy and Jerry Jones tell me that this is kind of a pivotal week, that if McCarthy is going to be extended as the Cowboys coach and his coaching staff brought back, that Jerry's got to convey that message to McCarthy sometime this week, because in 6 days, they're all out of contract, and at that point, Jerry loses, exclusive negotiating rights to his head coach. He won't have the same leverage that he has right now, and McCarthy could, quite honestly, leave his own volition if there's a better opportunity out there for him somewhere else. But they've lost 5 times this year by 24 or more points. That's the most in franchise history. Not what you want when you're working in a contract year.
No, not what you expect when you see him go 12-5 year after year. And I do want to get to his future as a Cowboys head coach. He's lost a lot this year. So basically what McCarthy has done in his time as Cowboys head coach, he either goes 12-5 or Dak Prescott gets hurt and he has a losing season. Does that injury to Dak affect this calculus at all?
Well, Jerry Jones has previously said that, it was when the Cowboys were 3-5 and Dak went out of the lineup that Jerry made the remark that, hey, we won 3 ball games when we had Dak Prescott, which suggested that injuries were not going to be an excuse as Jerry evaluated the coaching situation this offseason. It was interesting that Dak spoke after the game yesterday and said he has not yet sat down with Jerry Jones about the coaching situation and his opinion of it, but he said that will happen this week and that he will be promoting Mike McCarthy's return. And Micah Parsons says he's going to advocate for Mike Zimmer's return as defensive coordinator. So a lot to happen in the next week or 10 days.
We might see just how much weight those voices carry at the Star, huh? You look at the division, though, because Washington took a step forward after hiring former Cowboys coordinator Dan Quinn. You see the Eagles tearing it up in the East as well. I mean, has the pecking
and their
order,
offensive coordinator's Kellen Moore.
I know.
We calling plays before McCarthy did here.
It's topsy-turvy world. I mean, is the kind of the power dynamic shifted in this division for a while, perhaps?
Yeah, I think it has. But of course, remember that there's been a different division champion for 20 consecutive years. That's the most turnover in NFL or American sports history at the moment. The Eagles are the first. They won 3 times in a row, but 20 years ago. So there's been constant change at the top of the division. There's no question that Dak Prescott has been, for his entire career, the dominant quarterback in the NFC East. However, will that still be the case coming off a second leg surgery, a second missed season, age 32, and Washington drafted Jaden Daniels, and we saw what he's capable of doing. He and Dan Quinn, the former defensive coordinator here, are going to the playoffs as a first-year head coach and a rookie quarterback. So a lot can happen. We thought RG3 was going to dominate the league, and that didn't take place. So who knows? But certainly, the Eagles are a team that has a different philosophy than the Cowboys. And they think the way that the Cowboys do it is to their advantage. The Cowboys wait till the last minute. They did it with Dak. They did it with CeeDee Lamb. They're doing it with Mike McCarthy. They put off these major decisions. It winds up costing them more money eventually. The Eagles, very proactive in signing their young players, very aggressive in free agency. Saquon Barkley added in the offseason. A.J. Brown, the year before that, acquired in a trade. Not the kind of things that the Cowboys front office is known for.
No, not who they want to face again, because you look at what we played, how we played against the Eagles this year. You would like to not see them for quite a while on your schedule, but you do have one game left.
75-13 in 2 games.
I know, you got to play Washington this upcoming weekend. You'd like to get a win if you're head coach Mike McCarthy. If you're Mike Zimmer, you want to stay around, but you need to get a good game from Cooper Rush. You need to get a good game as well from Rico Dowdle. Again, up and down for both guys, but Rico breaking the 1,000-yard mark, a big deal for him.
We assume Cooper Rush will start. He's 0-3 against Philadelphia, and half of his career 10 interceptions have occurred at Philadelphia in games that they've lost there. And yeah, it was great for Rico Dowdle to get 1,000 yards, but you talk about the difference between these two teams and where they are right now. While Dowdle's rushing for 1,000 yards, the Eagles on the previous possession get Saquon Barkley over 2,000 yards. So that's a major difference. And the other thing, we talked about how detrimental the turnovers were. The Cowboys turned the ball over 9 times in 2 games against the Eagles, losing by a combined score of 75-13. And Dowdle had a fumble yesterday in the low red zone. The Cowboys lead the NFL in turning the football over inside the 20-yard line this year. 10 times they've done that.
My New Year's resolution, Ed, the Cowboys get better in 2025. That's my resolution.
It'd almost be hard not to.
Can't get any worse, do ya?